In accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, we're conducting this meeting hybrid model, both virtually and in person. The Cemetery Committee is conducting this meeting on June 11th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Zoom platform and in person in accordance with the town's policy directives and guidelines issued April 1, 2020 and amended May 7th, 2022. If you are recognized, please state your name and address. The meeting is being recorded. I, Jeffrey Walton, hereby call this meeting to order. All committee members' votes will be taken via roll call. We will start with an attendance roll call of committee members. When I announce your name, please reply. Priscilla?
Present.
Bridget Rodriguez?
Here.
Jeff Walton is here. Okay. The first thing on the agenda is appointment for this year's chair and vice chair.
Don't look at me. Her.
Anybody throwing their hat in the ring?
Bill, you don't want to be the chair? No, I do not.
Is it typically rotates, right? Because there was but Jerry would have been the vice chair.
Right,
Yeah.
right. If you went for vice chair
Yeah.
to chair, yeah, exactly.
I think you're gonna stay chair.
I'm down with that if you're fine.
Are you okay with staying?
I'm newer on the
I'm
committee, so.
okay, but I didn't want to break tradition. I don't know how that has to go, if it needs to be just nominated.
We can-
So you do have to be nominated, but can he be chair for a second?
I do not
Year?
know that.
Okay,
I don't know if that's the case. I know typically chairs turn over year to year.
that's what I thought, yeah.
We can Double check.
I can know, yeah. we can-
I'm happy to be vice chair if that's the case, but. So
Do we want to table this until we get the information and then we can just do this?
Sorry, I walked in
Fall?
a few minutes late, so.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't know if,
There's no mass state law. That would just be if there's a Concord bylaw.
There's not.
Okay, so he could be.
There. Then it would be, right, someone would need to make a motion and a second, and then you vote on the chair, and then same thing for a vice chair.
Okay, I make a motion to keep Jeff as the chair.
A second it.
I abstain.
Yeah. No,
No, we're not gonna be able to have enough people to.
We can't have a vote.
We can't have a vote.
yeah,
With me abstaining. And I can't, can I vote for myself?
Yeah, you could if
All right,
you
well, I
wanted.
accepted the position, so I guess I better vote for
Okay.
myself.
all right,
Perfect.
so, okay. All right. And then vice chair.
Priscilla, would you be willing to be vice chair? You don't want to do. I'd be willing to do the vice chair.
Good. I make a motion that, you
You
do
go
that.
ahead.
Do it and I'll second it.
I make a motion that Bridget Rodriguez is as vice chair of the cemetery committee.
I second.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Yeah, actually, there's no.
Oh, we have to roll.
roll call vote.
Yeah,
There's no-
Priscilla,
Yes, aye.
Jeff, I, Bridget.
I,
Do we have to do that for you?
we probably should just
We did,
do it.
You
well, I
did.
abstained
Yeah,
and
and
then I
then,
came
and then
back
he
in.
said yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Okay. Perfect, okay.
We don't have a columbarium subcommittee anymore. Both
So
members. are
that I
absent.
will be willing.
Okay. I nominate Priscilla as chair of the columbarium subcommittee.
I second.
Shall we hold the vice chair until next month, until we have another committee member who might want to be involved?
Yeah.
Can we hold that?
We can,
Should we make the motion for the chair to be appointed and then we'll
if you
add a,
want, you can table the whole until next month. And then just do, until September, and then just vote all of it in September.
Yeah. we
That
could
might
do
be-
I think that'll be easier.
Yep.
Does that
Why
work?
don't we do
Okay.
that?
All right. Perfect.
all right, deed signing we already did. Next proposed cemetery committee meeting is September 3rd. unbelievable. We're going into another summer already. So anybody have any challenges with that? September 3rd? That would be
The day after Labor Day.
It's a
2 days
Wednesday.
after Labor Day,
Wednesday.
Labor Day
Oh, this
week.
is, the third is a Wednesday?
Yeah, we meet on Wednesday, so September 3rd is the Wednesday.
Oh, obviously it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that's fine with me.
It's fine with me, but I'm just worried if anybody
Yeah.
would be out of town.
No.
Oh, we're I'm not planning to be, so, okay. All right, and we distributed minutes. Did anybody have thoughts? I have a couple of thoughts, but let's get to the first set of them, which would be the March 5th minutes. I wasn't here. I did watch it on Zoom, on the videotape, but so I'm not gonna comment on it, but does anybody else have comments on the March 5th?
Good to me.
Want to make a motion to approve the March 5th?
I move to approve the March 5th minutes.
I second.
Okay, and then a vote. I can vote on this. I watched the meeting, so I think that they look fine.
You participated.
No, I was there just at the beginning, wasn't I?
Oh.
Yeah, at the, yeah,
Oh, okay.
But I went back and watched it, so,
Gotcha.
but the minutes look fine to me. And I did ask for a copy of the presentation, which we might want to add into the archive, or is already in there for that meeting.
in
With the minutes?
archive, into the, with the, added to the minutes.
I don't know if that's something we do, you know,
Which presentation?
the Jerry,
Columbarium subcommittee.
Oh. You have a pretty thorough, account here.
Yeah, I think usually it's just like a written correction. That's,
Yeah, we don't normally do PowerPoint with that, but,
Okay.
and we can, but we have it and we can definitely, save it with the columbarium.
do you have a copy of it?
I do not.
Okay, because you'll want it if you're gonna chair the subcommittee.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
I
you
have a
forward
copy.
that to me?
Absolutely.
Great.
I can forward it to the committee.
Okay.
That way everybody has it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So we still need to vote on that. On the minutes.
Yeah.
Right, roll call vote.
Roll call, I approve,
Bridget Rodriguez approve.
Priscilla approves.
Jeff Walton approves. So that was March 5th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. April 2nd,
I didn't see any issues with those either.
my only comment on this, and I don't know if it's appropriate or not, is under my share comments, the reason we brought up the Concord Youth Theater play is because it was, the setting was the, Sleepy Hollow Cemetery.
Okay, yeah. So I can write, and I understand, I remember that as you say that. So commission a play to be written about the 250th anniversary. We can put it. It was set in Concord and will be presented, it was set in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery and
Yeah.
will be presented at the Concord Youth Theater at 7 PM.
Perfect.
Okay,
With that, I motion that the April 2nd minutes get approved.
With the amendments.
yeah, as a
Roll call, Jeff, yes?
Priscilla, yes.
Bridget, yes.
Okay. All right. And then May 7th,
who So who moved and who seconded? Sorry,
Jack moved and Priscilla seconded.
thank you.
And then we roll call.
And then May,
We got some follow-up this month. I don't have any questions on this.
This looks fine with me too.
I'd move that we accept the May 7th minutes.
I second.
Roll call, Jeff approved.
Priscilla, yes.
Bridget, yes.
Oh. Great. All right. So. CPW staff report, you guys all recovered from the 250th? It looked great and it looks beautiful around town still, and that it doesn't normally, but you guys really spit and shine this place beautifully.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of effort by the team. Great event for the town, so.
Yeah.
Happy to participate. Yeah, staff report, Aaron McCloskey, Highway and Ground Superintendent, good afternoon. Burial, information, for the month of May, we had 2 full burials and 9 cremations that took place. Interments that took place last month. For sales, we had 5 single grave lots and 2 cremation lots. We have been, there's town meeting was last week and, town funded, capital for the stone wall improvement project, which will be, starting this season, and hopefully we get a good amount of work done before the end of the fall construction season. We're progressing on that. We'll provide some more details, once we have the, construction plan kind of in place. We'll be going, next steps will be going out to bid, finalizing, finalizing construction documents and going out to bid, get a contractor on board for the construction, reconstruction of the stone walls. Focusing on downtown, some of the stone walls at Buell Hill, and some areas in Sleepy Hollow, as well. We'll provide, I think the next meeting is in September, so we'll provide an update for the group, in September. Landscaping, contractor continues work at Sleepy Hollow, and our staff continue to maintain, the other 2 cemeteries downtown center. We have met with HSI, which is the contracted engineering firm that we're working with on the lot layout, lot expansion up at the Knoll. So I brought copies today. This is the draft that we reviewed. So this is a conceptual level plan that's not finalized. Working to finalize it for the expansion. I'll pass this out. Let's everybody have a copy of it. Give some more details on it. Like 7 copies.
Thank you.
We can share.
So, kind of what this shows is the area that's, shaded is similar, look, area that's shaded, within the circle and to the south and to the west, or to the east, excuse me, are kind of existing lots that are laid out, the bolded, wood and shaded in areas are the proposed phase 1, for lot layouts, and each of those lots, those little squares is a 2 grave lot. It's been laid out. These shaded areas are roadways, gonna be paved roadways. You can see at the bottom, there's a path that's shaded in black there. That's to leads from the driveway to the existing current mausoleum. And then there's a couple other pathways that are marked farther north. The rest are drive aisles. There's shaded area to the north, and then where the phase 2 expansion area, that's beyond the existing tree line. So there's a tree line there. What we're gonna end up doing is getting a finalized construction document for the phase 1 lot expansion. And we'll have a conceptual plan for a phase 2 that can be finalized at a later date. The reason that there's that hash line between phase one and phase two is phase one, the topographic survey, resulted in an area that's, where it's pretty much relatively close to the existing grade. The existing grade is where we'd be for a construction grade. Anything north of that is wooded and would need to be cleared of all the forestry materials and graded out, so that it was not. We didn't go any further than that for the phase one construction we plan to do. There's also a smaller section to the east on the phase that's laid out that says phase one on the shaded roadway, no lots in that area. That'll be part of the first phase. So working on kind of just fine tuning the final layout. You can see some of the notes in there say relocating or removal of existing trees. We tried as much as we could to kind of avoid tree conflicts, but we wanted to get a nice a layout that kind of symmetrical, that matches what's kind of out there, that would look nice. But also meets the needs of operations, making sure we have roads that we can access all of the graves, the maintenance and the visitors that would come in the future. And also make sure we get as many lots in as we can. So there's a number of trees that'll be, there's 7 trees that'll be removed, but they will be relocated and replanted. So we're not gonna, not lose any trees. Very difficult to dig around trees and tree roots, especially the mature trees that have extensive root systems. So we're gonna be strategic on where those are located. There's some other things that are laid out in there. What we're gonna be doing and working with HSI on in the near future and the summer into the fall is the columbarium layout area. So we're gonna be working on, we've identified on the plan, we know where that's gonna be. It's gonna be kind of where those 2 pathways kind of almost intersect with.
Like in here?
Yeah, where those 2 paths end, right there.
Here?
Yep, that's correct. So we'll be working with this columbarium subcommittee along with the designer to meet with them to kind of show some designs and hopefully finalize what that columbarium would look like.
So that's the location
Correct.
of, you've decided that that's where it's gonna be.
Yeah, so that'll be the location.
Okay.
And we'll need to do, that's a good point. I'll call back over that in a second. But what we'll need to do is work with that columbarium subcommittee. And when we want to have a final design for the phase 1 construction, it includes the columbarium layout here. That's the plan.
Good job, yeah,
So that when
good.
we lay this out and we're doing the site work, we're doing the site work for the columbarium.
Yeah. At the same time.
As I
Perfect.
say that, I think we might need to go back to that agenda item, this evening and appoint somebody to be in the columbarium subcommittee, at least one person, because we need to meet with that individual or the people from this committee over the summer.
Over the summer.
So I think we might have to go back and,
Well,
before the meeting's over and just meet, or if you want to act unofficial as
did we vote?
Well, we
when
voted
did?
on you, but then we
Tabled it.
postponed the.
So did you take
like,
that out?
But, well, right, we did, yeah,
Well, Can we put it
so,
back in?
absolutely. I mean, you also do have another member here. I don't know if Bridget would. be
Is it something you're
interested
interested in?
Oh, I'm interested too, but we can wait till we have everybody on the committee to decide.
No, I'm just saying if we know, why not just,
Yeah.
why not
Okay.
just do it? Because anybody else would be so brand new.
Okay,
I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, but
sure.
if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm
why-
definitely
Why
interested.
not? Why don't we just do it now? And then
All right,
we've got but you only need one person over the summer, right?
Oh, so the idea of the columbarium subcommittee is that way it's committee representation to work with staff to help us with the design.
Right.
Because we don't want to create a design that the committee or subcommittee may not like, right?
Right.
So the subcommittee would work with staff and our consultant to come up with a design, and then we bring that design back to the entire committee to vote and approve on before we finalize the plan.
And you wanna do this, some of it over the summer.
Correct.
All right, well, I'm available. I have some dates that I can't do it, but
So so as far as this the lot layouts go, there's a number of lots in here, kind of different sections. The idea would be that we hopefully finalize the conceptual plan for phase 1. And we do that over the next couple of months, and then for FY 26, well, funding available, it was approved at town meeting in our operating budget for the construction documents, construction design for this project. And the idea for a timeline would be at next year's town meeting to request funding for construction of this project. That would hopefully happen and start a year from now, July of 2026. That's the projected timeline as of right now for the project. Over the next few months, we would work on and into the fall, we would work on the design and getting that construction document ready. As part of that, those construction documents, they would give us a probable construction cost. We would then use that cost to request the capital funding at town meeting. And that could either be through cemetery fund capital or CPC could be a. So I just wanted to provide this as an update. We're gonna be, like I said, meeting with what we call various committee members and our designer and over the summertime to review this and we're gonna have a final layout. So. Happy to answer any questions if anybody has questions.
Shall we go back to A4?
Sure.
I will propose nominating Priscilla and Sturgis as chair of the Columbarium Subcommittee and Bridget Rodriguez as co-chair, vice chair.
Okay, perfect.
And then who's gonna 2nd?
I'll second.
All right.
All those in favor say aye. Jeff says aye.
Priscilla says aye.
Bridget, I.
All right.
All right, and now the monument application for Bill's Garden paver. Who's taking the lead?
I will.
You will,
Thank you.
all right.
My name is Kevin Thomas Plezick and residing at 98 Baker Avenue. We were asked at your last meeting to come back with a more detailed proposal. Oh, by the way, I speak on behalf of the 14 members of our board of directors of the Friends of Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. You kindly asked us to come back from the last meeting with a updated and more clear, I would say, proposal to have an inscription carried out on the 8th paver in front of Bill's Garden. Your 5-page packet, I believe, includes this. My apologies for last time. I was at the 7th paver versus the 8th. My camera didn't capture it all. But the inscription would be centered in the middle of the 8th paver. So that the intention there is to bridge the gap between the two segments of Bill's Garden, the flagpole and our donated bench. The second purpose is to give recognition to two groups who are under the generic term of landscape, take care of Bill's Garden. This was a serious donation by the Garden Club of Concord and by the Friends of Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. You have in your packet the design of the 8th paver. And I believe I know it is signed by Mr. Price of Onyx. Onyx, as we talked about last time, were the installers of the 8 pavers. He has signed off on it and is waiting for your approval so that they can schedule the engraving at an appropriate time. That's pretty much it, unless there are questions.
As I recall, last time there was some concern about whether or not this was setting a precedent. And hear anybody from staff side concerned comments?
I had no additional comments.
Either of you have comments, concerns, questions?
Can't vote on this.
I can't vote on it.
Oh, you
Priscilla can't vote.
Oh,
Can't vote.
Quorum.
Cause you're
Yep.
part of the
Right.
Friends.
Can't vote on either of these things.
No.
Oh,
Gonna be a busy September agenda.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't think of that till just now.
Can't vote on either one of them. I didn't either. Well, I was hoping,
No, no,
but yeah.
it's not your fault.
I really wanted.
Not your fault, I know.
really wanted to be there.
No, no.
No, I know, it's okay, all right.
Does that
Yeah.
throw off the whole monument thing though?
Oh, yeah, yeah. this is a little bit of a problem.
Is there ever a precedence for, approving virtually? If we talk about it now and then, well, we can't do that because you wouldn't be a member.
It's still not a,
I
right.
can tomorrow.
You can
Yeah,
schedule, you can schedule a very quick meeting, as long as you publicly post it.
You can have a special meeting.
Mhm.
You can have a special meeting and the applicant doesn't need to return if they don't want to return.
Yeah, so,
And it can just be Zoom.
yeah, we just do Zoom next week sometime.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the next item is the problem too,
Yeah.
because we wanna do this,
Right.
now.
Yeah.
The cleaning. We don't wanna wait until September, we wanna do that now.
Can you put off the columbarium thing till that meeting too?
We probably could. I mean, there's no reason. We were just gonna
Yeah.
put it off until
Well, we just
September.
voted on it,
It's just
though.
like-
Oh, you did.
We already went ahead and
Yeah.
voted on it,
Subcommittee.
but, so what would make sense? You guys wanna get this done as soon as possible, right? So we can get started on these?
Be best if the columbarium subcommittee was already established, so
Yeah.
that they could work through the summer months.
Yeah.
Well, the
So it
Columbarium
would,
subcommittee.
you know,
That
We
was
did that,
established.
We did
that's
that.
done,
We're good on that.
that's done.
Well, yeah,
He was asking, yeah,
I think the question is more of the,
two friends.
yeah,
I mean,
D
so,
two and D three.
so. If the committee wants, we can hold a special meeting. And we can schedule a special cemetery committee meeting. For some time over the summer. So, we set the fall posting requirements.
What is the time frame of posting?
You just have to post 48 hours before the meeting, or business hours. before the
missing,
meeting.
right.
So we could do it next week if we
Yeah.
wanted to, right?
As long as we're doing Zoom, I can do next week.
As long as you're back.
I would maybe wait to confirm. Are you gonna sworn in tomorrow?
I got a phone call at like 2 o'clock that I could go over there and I just didn't get here till 3:45. So I could go tomorrow and get sworn in. Yeah,
So if the committee wants to discuss, schedule a meeting for next week, we can arrange it.
Mhm.
And post it. Committee can meet next week to review and.
I propose we have a special meeting
If
next
it's
week. on
Zoom,
these
I can
two-
do anytime,
Yeah,
but I'm happy to come here too.
I'll be out of town, but I can do Zoom anytime.
Justine, what do you
Yeah.
wanna do?
It's
So,
not.
yeah, so I would say that
I'll
if the committee wants to discuss its time, like a time and a day and time for next week, we will post a meeting. Virtual meeting.
Well, the 18th is fine for me.
Is that Wednesday?
Yeah.
Same bat time?
I would ask that if it's, I don't know if we. It's an on can we do it during the day before 4 o'clock? Is there the committee available?
It's
for
fine
that?
for me.
We can do it during the working day. would be-
Can you do
better
before
stuff.
4?
I can, I have, I'm doing a wedding at 2:30, but that should only take me like half an hour. And then, but so I'm free 3 on, or we could do maybe like 3:15, just in case I need a little buffer, or in the, earlier, like late morning, I could do too.
I can do anytime after noon, so it won't work in because I have meetings in the morning, so maybe. Is it early enough? We do 3:15, 3:30?
So we can do 3:30, yeah. We just get it via Zoom and we facilitate
Yeah.
the Zoom link and. The full staff wasn't able to do it, so.
So,
So basically what I'll do is I will put an agenda item on for those 2 items. We'll open, have those 2 items and an adjournment, and it'll all be on Zoom.
Yeah.
And then we'll post it tomorrow, so it's within the amount of time.
so we need to formally propose a special meeting next Wednesday.
I think we're good.
No.
What did we decide, 3:15 or 3:30?
3:30,
3:30.
Oh, three.
Wednesday, 6/18 at 3:30 p.m. But they can, so again, so
Discuss
they can
now.
continue to
We can
you can
discuss it,
present
and then you
discuss
guys
it,
don't
just
have
you
to
just
be
can't
here.
vote, Right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't get it in my
Kevin.
calendar.
We can do the discussion now, and then you guys don't have to come.
You're gonna be
Or-
working the bridge.
Yeah.
We're working out Lee that day.
Yeah, so you don't, if we discuss it now,
We just take the vote next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll just
We'll make
vote.
sure to get all our questions.
Yeah,
All right, so back to, did you have any questions regarding the paper?
I didn't,
Back to that.
and I think it
Okay,
looks
it looks
good.
good.
I'm just, I want to make sure that we're clear that this is outside of normal
Yeah.
approval, and that's why we're doing it at the committee and not intended to set a precedence.
yes.
Oh, sorry, do you want to give a little overview? of
Yeah,
what the-
well, first of all, here's what it would look like on this.
Of what?
So the idea is to add an inscription to the pavers that are already in place in Bill's Garden to reflect the donation from the Friends in the Garden Club.
Can you switch to the,
To the picture?
to the
Sure.
photo of
Yeah.
the,
Not a problem.
there it is.
Yeah.
So those are the stones that are there.
And the inscription would be on the last one there, the 8, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 8, yeah,
Yeah.
and this is what it
I appreciate seeing the language, yeah, that's great.
All right.
I don't necessarily have any questions.
No, I think it looks good.
Okay,
All right, well, we won't vote on it. We're proposing to move it to our special meeting. Monument cleaning requests can be the kind of same thing. You want to have discussion now and
Yeah,
so.
then they don't have to come
Okay,
back.
let's, yeah,
Sure. Thank you. You have received a rather large attachment requesting your clearance for us to do another cleaning of monuments in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. This is a volunteer effort on the part of our board of directors, and we had a tremendous show of hands of folks who are interested in literally rolling up their sleeves on a summer morning, so I appreciate again, the fact of the, your special meeting next week, because that gives us the summer to plan it. Obviously, the day depends on the weather, on nothing else happening in the cemetery, i.e. a funeral, et cetera. And the availability of our staff, not staff, our directors. We have done this a couple of times in the past, and I will introduce very shortly, the Fan and Leonard, conservation consultants who will be guiding us. Jim Fenn is a member of our board of directors. It is under his jurisdiction and his leadership that we would do this to be sure that we're totally in sync with appropriate chemicals and cleaning, et cetera. We ran the suggested stones by Tish, and she was in favor of them, particularly noting that we would be working in the same area in which we worked previously. So that we're kind of expanding the radius, if you will, the diameter of the work area. So that is the general kind of approval that we're seeking. But if I could presume to introduce Jim and his wife Minxie to talk about the specifics of the project.
Okay. Like last year, we're have a group of people which will had instructions last year, and we're going to go over the proper procedures for stone cleaning with them before we get underway. Probably will work for about 2 hours. Our firm has been in the gravestone conservation business for now 38 years. And we have pretty good background for doing this sort of thing. And we'll provide, we have the 4 photographs that Tish has seen stand there. And we would hope they look better after, but we'll be taking a set of after photographs to show the results of what we did. And as Kevin said we have an area that's adjacent to the one we did last time, so you'll have a sort of an enlarged area rather than have just sort of a spot here and a spot there. And that's, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
I could add something here, that we tested each of the stones for stability. So they're not gonna, fall on the committee member that's cleaning it. So they're all stable stones.
I did note that you have certificate of liability insurance, so
Oh, yeah,
just in case.
Yes, just in
we
case.
have to, yeah.
And as it wasn't last year, it is up to date this year. Last year, we were out of sync a bit, but we had that corrected before we started the work.
Great.
Oh,
Any,
No question. No question. So who are the volunteers that are working in the cemetery?
It's the board members of the Friends of Sleepy Hollow Cemetery,
Okay.
and we have insurance,
Okay. Separate from or in addition to the one we got?
separate.
Okay. That covers the board members.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's very expensive.
sure it does. We have, in the past, we've had volunteers who work on town property sign off. Just a individual release of liability for the town. So that's something we're probably gonna ask.
So this is the fourth time we've done this?
so we've,
Third time?
this is something
Is it
fairly,
new?
this is something fairly new.
Okay,
Within the
'cause we've never
last
done it before.
year, yeah,
Okay.
so it's
So do
it's
you have
something
a
like drop off,
form?
swap off, everyone has to do one for drop off, swap off now, like any
Oh.
volunteers.
Wow.
Yes,
So is it a form?
yes, yeah,
And,
the same
do we
form
need
that-
to get them in advance from you or?
Yes, we can provide that. It's the same format, able to parade participants in town, sign off on it too. So
Okay.
it's something that for like town events on town property,
Wow,
volunteers sign off.
Okay.
It's a new thing. So it's
All
not,
right.
it's not a public works, it's a town implemented.
okay. So should we,
We can send that to you.
yeah, that would be great.
yeah,
or-
we just have to run it
Yeah.
through. We just have to, so we'll have to cater it to this event
Yes.
and then double check with the townhouse and
Yeah.
then
What is the date for the event?
We don't have it
We
yet.
have that date, yeah.
we can do that, we can look
We can
into
get
it
it to you for next
before
week.
that next meeting, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We probably still need, because I don't think we have a copy of your certificate of insurance.
Oh,
Friends of Sleepy
theirs.
Hollow. We need a
Yeah,
copy
yeah.
showing the town of Concord as the additional insured and certificate.
Can you do
holder.
that electronically, Kevin, or
Surely,
you can?
Your insurance
We
company
should
has
get
to
it.
do it.
Justine?
Well, no, so we can receive it electronically, absolutely, but it's normally comes from the insurance company or,
surely.
Yeah.
I can have,
Yeah.
they're a local
Yeah.
insurance company,
Yeah.
should go to you, Justine.
yes, that's perfect.
There are two policies, by the way. One is the general liability and one is if we were hosting an event in the cemetery and somebody hurt themselves.
Yeah.
We would have coverage.
Okay, perfect, great,
Just let them know it has to show the town of Concord as the.
as the
certificate holder,
certificate
additional
holder,
insured.
yeah,
Yeah.
We can do that. too.
Yeah.
that would be great, thank you, I was gonna mention that about, perfect.
Good. Thank you.
we'll add that to the agenda.
Yep.
For next week.
Mhm.
Okay, D4 lot purchase request, Bob Graves. Stubblebine.
Yeah,
family?
Stubblebine family would like to purchase 12 graves. Anything over 6 has to be approved by the committee. They just have a large family. You understand? Yeah, they just have a large family and are trying to provide space for all of them in one area.
Thank you very much.
We have,
Thanks.
there's never, I'm wondering, trying to understand why they would have this rule in the first place, just worry about people cornering off sections of the cemetery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as much families, but organizations.
Okay. Members?
I don't have any issues with that. 12, I mean, family should be together, so.
Yeah.
Where is it? Is it in the know?
Yeah, that's the only place we're selling.
I don't think, but,
All right, I move that we approve the lot purchase request for Stubble Mine family, 12 plots.
I second.
I vote to approve the measure.
Priscilla, yes.
Bridget, yes.
Okay, lot purchase request 8 Graves, McKinnon family,
Same thing,
same thing.
just trying to provide space for the whole family.
Can I ask one question? Will each of these have their own stones? I mean,
Depend on how they purchase it.
are they in an area where there are flat stones or regular
Both.
stones? They're both.
Both are permitted.
Okay.
Okay. Um,
I'll make a motion to approve the McKenna family's purchase of 8 graves.
Second it.
Call of committee members for approval. Jeff, I.
Priscilla, I.
Bridget, I.
Okay. Chair comments, I'm happy to see that, we had, Rebecca here and hopefully has been approved and now just has to go testify and swear her oath. So hopefully by next Wednesday.
Wow.
Excellent.
Thank you for
Sounds
for
great.
putting up with the time on that. It took. I did talk to, I did send emails and voicemails to other volunteer card members who have applied, who haven't been on the committee before. There were 2 more of those, Casey and Sophia. I have not heard back from either of them, as of yet. So what I was gonna do is wait, I sent out another reminder note. And if I don't hear anything, I'll call the other 2 members that had previously been in the committee and expressed interest in being back on. As long as we're comfortable that, they would be approved to be members again. Which I think there's been a precedent set for that,
Rebecca Purcell
yeah.
was on again, and Casey has been a member before.
Yeah, she has.
Oh, so it's 3 of them, okay. All right. That was my comments, thank you. Any other committee member comments? All right, public comments? You're still public. All right, I put a motion forward to adjourn the meeting,
I second that motion.
roll call,
Priscilla, yes.
Bridget, yes.
Jeff, yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.